Well, our next topic is a little bit more delicate to discuss, and it's one of those things that each and everyone has to do. Now, Graham has met someone that can get the job done and save a lot of water too.
By now, we've all heard the saying, if it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down. Well, a bioprocess engineer by the name of Bernal Fester is hearing none of that. She has built a home that is about as off the grid as you can possibly get when it comes to water usage. It even has a dry toilet. Yes, a non-flushable toilet. I want to find out more.
Bioprocess engineering combines mathematics, biology, and industrial design, with a big idea being the most efficient way of processing living matter. This house was built on it.
Bernal, first of all, thank you so much for welcoming us into your incredibly funky, ultra-cool home. All of us want to do something, especially with the water crisis happening at the moment. We want to do more. You've taken that to the extreme. What was the motivation? Why build your entire home life around this principle?
Yeah, I was living in a 3-bedroom, middle-class house that just wasn't allowing me to play. I'm an engineer and I wanted to play with things and play at home. I wanted a house that was more efficient, that wasn't cold or drafty and hot in summer, and so I decided to build it. The reason why I wanted to do dry toilets was from an industrial ecology perspective. It seems to make more sense and separate your waste at source and all the nutrients that's in there. But the drought has been a learning curve for all of us, and this is something that we're really grappling with.
Okay, so now you've piqued my interest. I'm desperate to take a look at our dry toilets and get some more insight into how the system actually works. Can we take a look?
Yeah, let's go do it.
Within her broader ecologically friendly lifestyle, Bernal's dry toilet uses the natural processes of decomposition to recycle a major burden on our water system, human waste.
Right. Oh, I love that. The trees getting their water straight from the source. That's brilliant. So you promised me no smell? Not a thing. And we are standing right next to our dry toilet. Can you please explain to me how this beautiful throne works? How does this system work?
This is literally a bucket. And when I'm done, when it's filled up, I put a lid on it. So it's safe to transport, and I take it outside where I compost it. So when the new bucket comes in, I put a ground cover of some soil or some processed compost, some booster thing to help the processing works. Whenever I do my thing, I do my thing. And when I'm done, I took some sawdust and sprinkle it over it. You pee about 1.5 liters per person per day.
Bucket would fill.
Yeah. So in the beginning, I did it all in one bucket. It did start to smell occasionally, and it filled up maybe every week. You know, like who wants to process their stuff every week?
Yeah.
Now it takes about 6 weeks. So the calculation that I advise people is 1 bucket, 1 person, 1 month.
Why specifically sawdust or a dry material? Could you use sand, for instance?
Dry organic material is the best. We could think about if things are wet, then it starts rotting. And so you really want to have that moist soil consistency. Another thing is that this is carbon. So your waste is quite high nitrogen level. And so it needs to absorb the moisture and also provide a carbon source to get the biological processes working well. And so sawdust, dry plant material, compost that's already been through the composting process are all good.
So now, having learned all of these incredible lessons, for those of us who want to move in this direction, maybe I won't use the term go off grid, but create a better grid is a better way of saying it. What advice do you have?
So as citizens, what I would love people to be is more aware, more talking about it. We know that there's real life challenges to this, but urine diversion seems to me a good trade-off between getting the nutrients that's in your waste and lessening the load on the sewage works. And how you do that, I think we have to all work together to see what works and what doesn't. We know enough, but let's get those solutions together and build that community and start implementing them in a better way.
Although Cape Town's Day Zero has been pushed back to 2019, alternative dry sanitation solutions continue to get more attention in efforts to conserve water, and Bernal is leading the charge.
Quite ready to see human waste being used as fertilizer on our food, yet undoubtedly the work that Bernal is doing here in her own homegrown lab is certainly at the forefront of more efficient ways of saving water, something we all need to do, and who knows where all this will lead.